It is Sunday, October 19th. That means make sure to read Proverbs chapter 19. I've really been battling whether to make a video today or not. I'm not in a real great mood. It's rainy, dreary, getting cold out. Driving as per the normal time of me recording the audio part of the video, which obviously I'm not in need of looking at the phone or anything like that for that part. Simply drive as normal and talk. But yeah, I have not been in a good mood today. I know that when I get home, I'm going to have to park the car at the bottom of the driveway. Let's count my blessings that I am physically able-bodied and healthy enough to walk up my driveway. So we will, leave that there. Got to try to find the blessings to count where we can. My car has warm heated seats, so that's a good thing, and the heater works good. The fall leaves are beautiful, even though more and more are hitting the road instead of just hanging around looking pretty on the trees. Maybe I just needed to ramble on about the good things. Kind of though, what I was thinking about is the fact that, yesterday's video was talking about, how we are, how we appear, our actions and words matching up and being what they should be, in unison, being the same, how other people see us and our actions. What about the actions and the thoughts that other people don't see about us? We all have our struggles. We all have things that we need to improve on. We all have behaviors that need modified. We'll put it to you that way. We're not all as good as we want to be or could be. Very simple. Today, my frustration, I'll just say plain out, it's pertaining to my marriage. And I am not going to come on here and bash my husband, although I am highly frustrated and disappointed, greatly disappointed with him. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to put it out here publicly because, it is what it is. I made a promise to God when we got remarried that I am going to be the best wife that I possibly can be. And I'm attempting to do that. I have been fighting for my marriage for 3.5 years. I don't see much, how would I say it, effort on my husband's part to have a good marriage. I don't see much effort that he's trying to be a good husband. I will say he has taken over 2 of my payments since I lost my job at the end of January. He has taken care of that. But relationship-wise, there are issues. And I'm going to take account for my issues. Like I said, I am by no means a perfect wife, even though I want to try to be. But my biggest struggle here lately has been bitterness. I'm trying not to get angry and bitter with him because God has plenty of reasons to be angry and bitter with me, but God still chooses to love me, whether I deserve it or not. And I made a promise to God. And kind of like, when I was growing up, well, just because your friends jump off the bridge, does that mean you can? So I cannot base or break the promises that I made just because of the way my husband is or isn't acting. And I am trying to remember that, and remembering that my relationship and me keeping the promises that I made is between me and God. And honestly, it does not have anything to do with my husband's behavior. The human side of me, yes, wants to say, well, he's not doing XYZ, so I shouldn't, da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Typical human mindset. I have had plenty of people try to convince me that I have a right to leave him, that I have a right for this, that, the other, that God just wants you to be happy. Well, hate to say it, folks, you're not going to find that in the Bible. God expects obedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And as I said, I made a promise to God, and I do not want to stand a liar in front of God. I have had enough bad things in my past, and I screw up daily in other ways, plenty enough, that I do not need to, if it's something that I can handle, doing my best at and trying to keep that promise, that's what I'm going to do. I have many friends. I've got many friends that are guys that offer to help and try to help and do help. And it's difficult because they all know where I stand. But it puts me in a difficult situation because while I do love them dearly as friends, that's as far as it can be. And at the same time, I don't want to feel like them to feel like, or I don't want to feel like per se myself that I'm using them. But at the same time, maybe it's just a lesson in learning to accept help. And I'm not good at that either. So maybe we're going to uncover a few more of my flaws, right? So this is the way I am. And maybe I just need to go back to counting my blessings. The heater's nice and warm in my car. The seat warmer is nice and warm. And I've got a nice warm hoodie on that I think my oldest son gave me a couple years ago because he doesn't wear hoodies. So it's extra big and cozy. I'm thankful for the small town that is near me because it's quiet and laid back. I don't know, there are, I put clean sheets and a clean comforter on my bed today. I have the ability to do that. I have a bed to put those things on. I have a soft pillow or two. What are you thankful for? And while you are, or if you catch yourself coming into frustrations, sadness, discouragement, disappointment, bitterness, all the negative things, what do you do? I mean, are you counting your blessings? There's one more thing I'll go ahead and admit. I've been really hesitant to say it out loud because, my ADHD is terrible at accountability and remembering to continue to try to make a new habit. But as of today, I have successfully written out in a notebook the first 2 chapters of Genesis. I do not know how far along or how much of it that I can write out, but I have been trying to cope with some of my frustrations and negative feelings today by just putting on a random video to listen to in the background and writing, at least until my hand falls asleep. So that's kind of usually, and it did get me to the end of chapter 2 of Genesis today. So, maybe if that's something that you haven't thought of or anything to control your thoughts, feelings, stresses, hey, let me know if that's something that can help you. Just pick up a pen and a notebook and, start copying it out. If you're like me, it's always a good excuse and good reason to buy a new notebook and new ink pens, right? So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at, on my way to town. So I'll upload the video there because I cannot upload much more than a 30-second, 1-minute short from my house. It just doesn't happen. But yeah, whatever I get at town will have to be carried up the hill, or we'll have to wait in the car until the car can get up the hill. But with as much rain coming down, that might be a while. So have I mentioned that me needing a truck, a 4-wheel drive truck, is on the list? So yeah, we're not going to go back to the frustrations. You know, rain is good. You know, I still have a couple plants outside that can use a little bit of rain. So anyway, I hope you all are having a good day. And if not, you know, try to find some way to make a list of counting all the smallest blessings that you can find. Even if it's jumpy spiders. I know someone's mentioned that in a group of mine. And yes, they are absolutely cute. And it was even more cute last Saturday when my nephew's son found one and was watching it crawl all over him. And he's like, look, it's a jumping spider. So, okay, no reason to be angry and squish and terrified and cry and scream over little spiders, as long as they're cute and they're not the kind that can get you in trouble or in the hospital. So anyway, I hope y'all find something, you know, to think about in this video. And like I said, don't forget to read Proverbs chapter 19. And yeah, hope y'all can make it a good day. Much love, many prayers, and shalom always.